You guys, I'm back. I'm officially making a comeback to YouTube because I've missed it, and it's been at least 2 years. I don't even know the last time I used this camera. It just made me re-input my location, the date, and the time. So I truly don't know how long it's been since using this puppy. There's dust all over it. So many things have happened, like this, like a full child. So I figured today could be a little catch-up, life update, what the heck's been going on, just a reintroduction into YouTube, because I've definitely missed vlogging and I'm excited to get back to it. So here we go. In natural fashion, my camera died, so swapped my phone while it charges. Okay, if you know me, you know that I have been using Legion Athletics for years for their protein, but this company reached out to me, Heart and Soil. I didn't necessarily love other supplements on their site. Like, I just haven't done enough research into like organs and that kind of stuff. And so it made me a little bit nervous, and maybe I just need to do more research on it. So I decided, you know what, yeah, I'll try the protein because the ingredients are insane. Now, Legion's ingredients aren't horrible, but this one is so much more simple. It's just whey protein concentrate, or organic maple syrup powder, organic raw cacao powder, and North American pink sea salt. Like, that's literally it. So it's very simple. I've been trying to simplify ingredients as much as possible. The taste isn't quite there. Like, it just is kind of bland, I will say, in comparison to like Legion's protein powder. But I just add a little bit of extra cacao powder, cocoa powder, and it's been great. So I actually really like it. And I like, most importantly, the ingredients, which I think is most important, because you can zhuzh up a recipe. So making a protein shake with this. I also normally throw spinach in, however, I forgot to throw it into our Whole Foods order this week, and then forgot to get it at another grocery store that's closer by. So no spinach this week. There's also banana in here and ice. I keep forgetting to freeze the bananas, and at this point I'm like, I'll just keep using ice. Keep forgetting to do a lot of things. Blender during nap time is a risky move, but we did it. Since becoming a mom, I feel like it's been incredibly hard for me to get ready throughout the day just because I'm at home all day. And I saw one of my friends who's also a mom on Instagram post the 2 of 3 method. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. You do 2 of the 3 things. So your hair, your makeup, your outfit. 90% of the time at home, we have the Adam Sandler vibe going on. And I don't know that I'm gonna change that because I just love being comfortable. And I feel like for me to get out of the headspace of like, hey, you could wear normal clothes at home just feels weird. Like, I'll only wear normal clothes if we're like going out and doing something. I at least put on some makeup, no eye makeup. I feel like I hate washing mascara off, and I won't do it if I don't need to. And I straighten my hair, but then I put it up. I feel like my hair is just at this awkward length, and I have a hair appointment at the end of August, so like in a month, where I'm gonna do something fun so that I can actually look forward to doing it. But for right now, we're making small strides. I straightened it this morning, but then I just put it up. So little by little, just making myself feel more human. Okay, I realized in the last clip you didn't get the full Adam Sandler look, so. All right, I'm so back. I gave the camera time to charge. Now we're just hanging out. I got this guy, and I figured now would be a good time to just have a little sit down chit chat while we play in the playpen. So lots of big changes since becoming a mom. I will say nothing prepares you for parenthood, motherhood as a business owner. I was so confident that I would be able to be that like badass working mom, has her shit together and just like does the thing. And I quickly realized that it wasn't necessarily what I was wanting, and I never thought I would think that way, truthfully. I realized that I was craving just like a lot more slowness and presence with my son, and that owning like a bigger business wasn't necessarily in the cards for me anymore. We ended up back in May exploring the idea of a nanny, a part-time nanny, and the nanny that we had hired was also nannying for another family, and so she had 2 days a week, which kind of actually worked out really well for us. She started out 14 hours a week. Yeah. And it was a great fit. Like, things were going so well. She's like the sweetest, and Deacon loves her. And it was so nice to have that help. I felt so productive on the 2 days, Tuesday, Wednesday, for 7 hours each day. And I feel like it was just like my time to sit, grind, and then the rest of the week I was super present with Deacon, and it was super nice. Well, you know, a month went by of doing that, maybe a little bit more. Maybe she started at the end of April. I can't remember. But I remember on the way to meeting her, to kind of like interview her, see if she was a good fit, I was like, Kaden, something just doesn't feel right to me. My husband, Kaden. I was like, I just feel like I felt so resistant to the meeting. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give up on it. Like, we'll figure it out. We're not going to have a nanny. Well, it turns out we loved her, and it went really well. And so we went through with hiring her. It was like 4 to 6 weeks went by, and I was like, this just isn't, something about this isn't working in terms of me working, owning the business that I did, co-owning it with my business partner. And beginning of June was, I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I had had these thoughts since like end of February when I came back from maternity leave, where I was like, I never thought I would feel this way. Like, I never thought that I would want to do less. I always pictured myself as like the badass working mom. I had a mom who worked full time and still was able to show up for us and like support me in everything. And I'm so thankful to have like 2 parents who did work and still managed to do everything. I actually don't know how they did that. But it was the calls at nighttime and all the extra stuff. I was in Slack, you know, all throughout the day. And I feel like I just wasn't super present with, with my son, with Deacon. And so made the really tough decision to separate from the business and just go back on my own, where I can control my hours. And now I'm like working extremely minimally. Basically, I work Monday for check-ins with my clients. Yeah. Ugh. Monday is a big check-in day for me with my clients. It always has been. And so I do that during Deacon's nap time, or like before he wakes up. And then Tuesdays, our nanny is still coming for 6 hours, which is super nice. So I'm able to do my other check-ins. Oh, do you see yourself? Whoa. Whoa. And then I also do client programming on Tuesdays as well, as much as I can get done. The main priority is getting their check-ins into them. But it's crazy how much I accomplished in 6 weeks. So prior to leaving the business, I had 9.5 hours of calls every week. And it just became a lot. And now I'm pretty much able to do my whole job in that amount of time, which is crazy to think about. So I've now ended up building back up my subscription. Prior to merging our businesses into Apex, I had a training subscription called Real Training Club. It was something I always wanted to build up, to have like a really cool community and to have a really like low cost option for people to train. I've started to just realize different things within the coaching space that I don't love. I feel like coaches are constantly pushing one-on-one coaching and saying you can't get results unless you have a one-on-one coach. And while I believe some aspect of that, oh my gosh, he's so close to crawling. I believe some sort of aspect of that for sure. Like, I do think if you've been stuck in progress for years and years and years, and you've been struggling for years and years and years, and absolutely one-on-one coaching has a place. I also think there's people that are higher level that obviously a coach can push you to that next level. And like, I love having a coach. I also love not having a coach at times and not being as structured, but being able to test out some things on my own in the gym and play around with stuff, or just do a training subscription that I can have workouts made for me and not have to think about it. And I think there's a time and place for both. I think there's a time and place for rigidity within one-on-one coaching, especially if you struggle with results, especially if you're a busy parent and you just can't seem to find the time and you need that accountability. I definitely think one-on-one coaching has a place, but I think there's an option for everyone out there. I firmly believe everybody should follow some sort of training plan to see results, but it doesn't always have to be one-on-one coaching. One-on-one coaching is expensive at the end of the day. And I think it's important to have options, right? And so I created this training subscription, Real Training Club. I re-emerged it, and it's even better than before. So basically how it works, it's a monthly subscription, $49 a month. What you get with that is every 6 weeks, I program in a new phase, and we go through different phases. It's not only hypertrophy focused. Sometimes it's focused on more power movements, strength movements. We go through actually a periodized program. Wherever we're at in the program, you basically just start at that point. There's 5 workouts a week. It's a Metcon / circuit option. But then there's 4 lifts. So 2 upper body, 2 lower body. And I have resources on like, hey, here's how to make it work if you can only train 3 days. Here's how to make it work if you can train 4 days. Here's how to do it if you can train 5. You also have access to a full resource library. There's nutrition help, training info, playlists, all kinds of different things on there, as well as a free macro calculation. It's a one-time calculation. You can pay for additional calculations if you want them. I'm gonna send you over a 5-minute video basically overviewing everything that you're currently doing, where you want to be, why I'm setting macros where they're at, and you fill out like a whole form. It goes through like what you're currently doing. It's very in-depth. It's not just me using a calculator. I don't believe in macro calculators. If you are going to get your macro set, please have it be built specifically to you, specifically built on how your nutrition is currently, your goals, everything involved, and not just your height, weight, age, gender, and like activity level and goal. There's so much more that goes into it. And then along with that, there's also access to every single program I ever create. The entire Real Training Club gets access to all of those programs. So right now I'm gearing up to release the Badass program, which I thought I was pretty clever. The bad is busy and determined. So Badass program, because so many people are busy. And I know it gets to the point where you feel like you're too busy to train. And I firmly believe that no matter how busy you are, you should always make time to train. And so I created the Badass program. It's literally 52 weeks, a full year of workouts. Everything is 30 minutes long. So there's a workout every day, but it's not always like an actual intense training session. So Monday is strength. Tuesday is 30 minutes of cardio. Wednesday's a Metcon, so a 30-minute circuit. Thursday's a core workout. Friday is the second cardio. Saturday is strength B. You can organize them however you want. There's 2 strength workouts, 2 30-minute cardio sessions, letter lists. That's for a mobility, a core that's optional, and a Metcon. So that's how it works out. And there's instructions again on how to make that work if you can't train every day, but 30-minute workouts, and you get them every single day. The entire program is literally $99, so you get all of that for a year for under $100. It's literally, there's 52 weeks. It's less than $1 a week, or less than 50 cents a week. 50 cents a week. That's it. All the workouts. You get access to the app for a full year. So you get access to that with the Real Training Club, as well as the mobility program. And I'm going to be creating new programs. There's going to be a Hyrox program, most likely launching on August 3rd, because I know there's a lot of fall Hyrox coming out, and I wanted that to be out. It's a 12-week training program. I'll also have a pregnancy program as well as a postpartum program. You can bundle both of those. Like I said, if you sign up for Real Training Club, you literally get every program I ever release. As long as you're paying for the subscription, you get access to it included in your membership, which is actually insane. As well as the 6-week training phase that I train within there. There's a community. We're gonna be doing challenges. I may or may not be planning my first challenge for August 31st, which I'm also stoked for. That's the update. I ended up leaving my business partnership. It was nothing against the company. I absolutely loved Apex. I loved what we built. It was something so special, but honestly, at the end of the day, Deacon has become the most important thing. And my husband's a mortgage loan officer. And so his schedule is so sporadic. He is going to meet real estate agents for coffee or lunch, or he'll have calls scheduled out at 5 p.m., 6 p.m. And if I also had a call, that made it tough. And just both of us having busy schedules didn't feel right for me, like right in terms of like a family dynamic. I wanted to be able to have Deacon's parents be present, and maybe things will change to where I can, grind a little bit more when he goes to school and he's gone for part of the day. But right now, as he's growing up and plus having a second kid, that's still like 2 years out. That will, change things where, for the next, at minimum 6 years, I have a kid that's not in school at some capacity. So stepping back made most sense. And now I can just do things that I really enjoy doing in business. Like, I think I got to a point where I was feeling like I was dipping my toes into multiple different things. And I'm the type of person that wants to excel at the things I do. And because I feel like I was dipping my toes into so many things, I was wearing a coach hat and then a business owner hat and then a head coach hat managing our coach team, and then a mentor hat mentoring like different coaches in their own coaching businesses, and my mom hat, my wife hat, my athlete hat. Like, it just became a lot for me, and I feel like I was not doing well at anything. I feel like my coaching quality dipped, and that's when, and like also just motherhood, like he's moving more now, he's crawling, like he's gonna be walking soon, I'm sure. So I just feel like I needed to take a step back from something, and it made the most sense naturally. So I got back to a training membership. So thankful for people who've already signed up. I'm also going to offer $10 off in the per month, by the way. It's $49 a month. So you could get it for $39 a month in the description. If you use that promo code, it'll get you $10 off a month. Another update is I'm 8 weeks out. I think I mentioned this early in the video. 8 weeks out from Hyrox in Rome. I'm not going to Rome specifically for Hyrox. It's funny because we were actually already planning on going there. One of my cousins is getting married in the Tuscany area in early October. And so we had already planned on going to Rome, which is insane that we just happened. I was like, if it's the same weekend as it was in 2025, we will be there the same weekend as Rome Hyrox. And lo and behold, we're in Rome for 5 days, 4 nights, and it lined up with Hyrox. I was so sad I missed out on Phoenix Hyrox back in January of 2026 because I was like, I think at that point when it happened, I was 8 weeks postpartum. I did it last February. My first one was a doubles pro, which I did not know it was pro until like 3 weeks prior to the race. So I was not training at pro weights. That was fun. We got like an hour and a half, which I feel like was pretty good for our first one, and also not knowing we were in pro. But I'm nervous and excited to do it solo. I'm not doing pro solo. I'm doing open solo. That's the update. Nice. I'm excited to get back into YouTube. Probably start vlogging like weekly Hyrox, motherhood, whatever. My goal is at least 1 video a week, but I think for right now it's probably more so like 1 video every other week. I did a full week of eating one time, and that was really fun. It was also a lot to record. So I saw that Sarah's Day, who's one of my favorite YouTubers, did a full week of dinners. So I might try doing that next week. Stay tuned. Oh, did you wave bye-bye? Thank you for watching. I'm excited to get back into it. We'll see you in the next one.